Okay, Saturday morning, police were called to the Roque Restaurant on Broad Street, Providence. There, we encountered a man that had been shot several times. His name, Jorge Garcia. Date of birth of 2/25/83. Mr. Garcia was taken by rescue to Rhode Island Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. So Mr. Garcia was in the restaurant having breakfast with a friend. He was, at the time, sitting at the counter. One man opened the door to the restaurant, pointed a gun directly at Mr. Garcia and fired several shots. So we are out there working this case. Detectives have done a great job over the weekend. We need to carry it a little further, and we'll update you as soon as we have any further progress.
Is he from Providence?
The victim, yes.
Can you spell Jorge for me?
Jorge.
Garcia, Garcia.
Yes.
Do we know if the shooter knew the victim?
I don't know if he knew him, but I would say it was a very good chance that he was definitely targeted.
Any kind of conflict precede this, or just?
Well, that's what we're looking into now.
Mm-hmm.
We trace back a long time, so it's going to take a while.
Do you know why he would have been targeted?
There might be a few reasons that we're looking into.
Do you have a suspect?
Suspect? Well, like I said, we're still looking into it. So.
This is the 19th homicide in Providence this year.
Correct.
It's the most we've had in a long time. Is
Yeah.
that concerning to you at all?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it is a good deal of homicides. But we are, dealing with it the best we can. We've taken 158 guns off the street this year. The guns, the amount of weapons on the street was a concern for us, and we are targeting those with the task force and our intelligence unit. It's been successful, but there's still a lot more out there. We've got a way to go.
The government today, I think it's the FBI today, said there's a 30% increase in homicides year over year, from last year to this year.
Mm-hmm.
You've noticed, obviously, there's it's 30%, but it's probably close to that.
Well, look, I think, and like you've asked me over and over the past months what I think it is. I told you, everybody, we all broke out of the COVID. Everybody was on the street. During that time, there was a lot of extra money given to people. Straw buyers became very popular. A lot of guns were purchased, and a lot of guns were then sold illegally on the street. This is a problem for us that we're dealing with, and it's nothing that we can do overnight. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of intelligent work, and it takes time. But little by little, with our bureaus and a great job by the uniform division, we're getting a lot of those guns off the street. I mean, so if you think 158 guns taken off the street, how many of those could have been used in murders that that did not occur in the city? We can't measure that, obviously, but we're just if you look at something like that, we can be thankful to the men and women of the department for doing such a good job.
There's just some differing numbers. Would you mind just releasing from Friday to Sunday how many shootings there were in the city?
Friday to Sunday, I believe there were 6. Looking at.
And it's shootings with victims?
Yes.
Have you seen something like that? When's the last time you saw a weekend like that?
Well,
Is it unusual?
I don't recall. Yeah, of course it's unusual. That's a high number, but a lot of them. So I think 3 or 4 out of the 6 have no complaint. No description, no complaint. Doesn't help us too much.
How big of an issue is the lack of cooperation?
Well, it's a huge issue. So when we get victims and witnesses to cooperate, it's a a totally different direction we go in with our investigations. A lot quicker, lot more information, obviously. So.
Can you speak about the Atwell's shooting that happened last night? I mean, that's a busy street, tons of restaurants, people walking around.
Yeah, so last night, I think it was around probably 9:30 or so. From what we're getting, there were 2 cars in the Walgreens parking lot. I believe Walgreens may have been closed at the time. They crossed paths, they were both going different directions, and they might have been a little too close to each other. So a little road rage occurred. The victim got out of his car, approached the other vehicle, stopped. That person then got out of his car. That person had a gun and pointed it at the victim's face, according to the victim. The victim then moved the gun out of the way, and as he did, the suspect, shot the gun. So luckily, the bullet grazed him, I think in the temple area. So he was very fortunate.
No arrests in that case either?
Not yet. We're working on it. So there's another case of, someone having a gun, and then, just a crazy little incident in the parking lot. And, just people are, sometimes, people are getting a little angry, and, they have to take a minute, take a breath, and just, better just to walk away.
And the other 4 shootings, the victims there, they're all expected to be okay? Nothing like...
Yeah, they're all fine. Bellevue Avenue, that was a man who basically came out of his house to smoke a cigarette. There was a man and woman walking by. They were arguing and yelling. I guess he had told them, listen, can you keep it down? It's my house. The man reached in a bag, pulled out a gun, and shot him. I believe he's still in the hospital, and it's a serious condition. Yeah, I believe so. I'll give you the exact date after. Yeah. So.
Saturday morning, about what time was that, do you know? Saturday morning in the...
The homicide?
Yeah.
About 9:30.
You get called at about 9:30. Were there... I saw some video over there. There was a guy
So,
sitting next to him.
about
with a
9 o'clock.
counter.
Go ahead.
About 9 o'clock, you said.
Yep.
Were there many people in the place? I mean, did you have many?
Didn't appear to be at that time.
Just the 2 at the counter, that was it?
Yes.
Okay. Must have been somebody working in the place, too.
And workers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that a lot of the people aren't cooperating well with police, but just to make sure this is correct, out of the 6 shootings where there were victims this weekend, there have not been any arrests quite yet?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you.
There will be.
And that surveillance video, I don't know if you've seen it, it's been circulating around on social media. Are you able to speak to that? Do you guys have surveillance video you can release?
I'm not going to speak about any video on social media.
Where do you see the trends going? 6 shootings in one weekend, somebody being shot for telling people to be quiet, somebody being shot in the morning on Broad Street.
Well, look, the Broad Street was definitely a targeted shooting, and there was a reason for it, and we'll find out the reason. The one on Walgreens was Atwell's was like a road rage type incident. Bellevue was another incident that kind of like that, and then the rest could have been targeted, as we see. So.
You've often said when we've been in here that you still feel like Providence is a safe city.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So, listen, I was in the city Saturday night, socially at dinner. I mean, with my wife. I have no problem bringing her in the city. It's fine. it's fine. These are, we're a pretty large city in this area, and cities sometimes have problems like this, and but all in all, I think Providence is a safe city. If you have to be aware of your surroundings. Like if you go anywhere, you should always be aware where you are. Even if you're at Warwick at the mall, you should be aware when you walk into the parking lot to look around and make sure everything is okay. But as far as Providence being safe, yeah, I think the 100 or 1,000 or so people that come in every weekend will tell you they're okay with it too. So.
And I know you said the surveillance video circulating on social media you don't want to talk about, but I believe there was surveillance video from Ropes Cafe. Are you using that, or are you going to plan on putting that out?
We do have video. I'm not saying where it came from. It's part of our investigation now. We never really say, as you can understand. How that got on there, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what basically you're talking about, because I see our video here and our detectives. I'm sure we monitor the social too. So
nothing you plan on putting out to try to find a suspect at this point?
Not right now. There might be a few things in other cases here we might, but that's about it.